So then, I tried to film this earlier on and I fucked up the frame rates on the camera, so I'll have to refilm it, so that's fine. It's going from night to daytime. But yeah, basically today we were taking my dad out in the Type R and getting his reaction to V-TEC. So he's never driven a Honda before, let alone one, you know, a Type R with V-TEC. So it was quite funny seeing his reaction. So yeah, should be fun. Right then, this is my dad. Introduce yourself.
I'm Dad, Dave.
You've never driven a Honda before with V-TEC, have you?
Nope.
What is the fastest car you've driven? This probably won't be the fastest, but I mean, like, what experience do you have with driving cars?
GTR on one of them track day things.
R35, yeah, you did the R35.
I go on one of them. R8.
R8, yeah.
Greg's M3.
M3, nice, yeah, big power M3. And your S4, that's pretty naughty car, yeah?
Yeah, my own car, my S4.
It's a S4 as well. But yeah, thought we'd bring him out, you know, let him experience the V-TEC, should be fun. Your reactions are great, so you're the first one to drive the EP3 apart from me. So yeah, let's go on with it.
Right, let's see what all this fuss is about. Look at the road surface, man.
Like
wow.
I said, yeah, there's some bad potholes around here.
I would say we should have turned round.
That's what I said. But so we took Jordan down here in his Shelby and his McLaren, so I'm sure the EP3 will make it. Bad.
That is really bad. So, sorry if I missed one because I'm blind as a bat.
Counting to sort your roads out.
Right.
So what are you feeling so far with the gearbox? Is it nice and responsive, or is it a bit shit? What do you think so far? You're not booted it yet.
I've not booted it. It's already feels like it just wants to spin off on me.
Yeah, it does do that.
So I'm expecting loads of oversteer.
Yep. Well, understeer more.
Understeer, I mean.
Yeah. So V-TEC comes in on this car about 5.5. There'll be an audible crossover, and it lifts onto the high cam, and it does. It's just funny. It just really does, you know. It's like having a turbo, but instead of it spooling up gradually, it just kind of comes in straight away.
So really, when you said to me, "What's the fastest thing you've driven?"
Yeah.
Obviously, it's my R1.
Well, yeah. I guess that is the quickest thing. The power to weight on that bike actually has about the same horsepower as this car, isn't it? So, or a little bit less, but you know, not too far off. It's a bit bumpy this road. Cobbled. Took mum down here in my Fiesta. Well, she was driving it, right? And she entered it at like 60. This.
She will.
Yeah.
There's no fear, that woman.
No, at all. When I got my wheel back and it was curved beyond, like.
Oh, obviously.
You know, they marked me down at least £1,000 on the rebuying car because of that. And the wheels. Should have built it. The seats though holding you nicely, or?
Yeah, seats are good.
Yeah.
Feel comfy.
I quite like the seats. That's the first thing I really liked about it. The interior's right, quite nice on them. Lots of red, you know, accents and stuff.
See, our little hot hatches when I was your age was I had it was an Opel Kadett SR.
Yeah.
Little.
Were they 1.6?
No, they 1.3.
1.3.
Yeah.
Well, still for that time it was quite a quick little car.
See, I was well into all my Mark II Escorts and all that.
Oh yeah.
So they were the cars. What you did then?
We want some V-TECs. Well, the gearbox as well, where the gear shifter is. Probably quite used to that, driving a lot of vans and stuff, aren't you?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it's quite nice, I think.
Yeah, it's better than I thought because it looks hideous when I first seen it.
It does look terrible.
Right, there's a camera down here, so just put me hood up and go blasting through it, get you the points. I'll get you back.
loud as my Fiesta, is it?
No, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
The popcorn machine, as I called it. Right. So, we've got a slight incline now going up here. It might look...
Probably break it loose a bit, but you know. But yeah, basically come out of here first, twat it in first, second, third, see what you can do. Give it hell.
If it goes bang, it's not my fault.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Fine.
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. So what was that like?
It's good, pretty good actually. That I mean, I want to do it again now. So,
You'll do it again.
it just lost loads of traction then going up because it's wet. So I could imagine in the dry it's a bit more.
Yeah, hooks up a bit better.
I never looked at the rev counter then, so I don't know.
You're rating 9 grand. Banging a full limit there.
Just,
maybe in third, but not in second.
So we've got nowhere to give it.
Yeah,
legs.
the traffic's not great today. Weather's not great, so it's a bit slow. Hopefully we can get a couple good little pulls in.
Alright, I'll just back off in a minute.
Yeah.
So we'll get some space.
We redo this on a better day, especially when it gets its turbo in it, or get any, modifications to it. That makes it a bit more interesting to drive. This is like pretty much bone stock. All it's got is a jack speed intake. Just so you can hear the V-TEC crossover a bit better.
I think all we need is slower.
Oh, you almost went V-TEC.
I know, I was just watching this car in front of me because if I just want to be looking at that rev counter and see what I'm doing to what I'm feeling.
But don't worry about hitting the limiter. It does it all day long. It's fine. These engines are really good actually. So it's got K20 is the engine code for these. It's a 2 litre inline 4 with the V-TEC. So that's, do you know how that works? There's like there's different size cam lobes. So it's like a high lift one for up in the revs. There's a lower one, a smaller one for when you're just pedalling around. And at 5.5, that's when it changes over to the high lift cam. That's why the noise changes.
Right.
So it's not great on fuel on V-TEC, but it's funny. Shocks you for up this thing, don't it?
It's very.
This car enjoys getting redlined.
It's like it just changes.
Yeah,
it just goes wow.
Yeah, it's a completely different car, isn't it?
Yeah.
The crossover's great. I love the sound as well. I think it's really funny. It's got completely standard exhaust, just the intake.
Good job I didn't have one of these at your age.
So the UK models versions of this one, they have a red line at 8.2. I think it's 8,200. The Japanese ones, I think they rev a bit higher. But the fun fact is actually that the Japanese ones are built in Swindon with these ones, and then imported over to Japan, and then that's where the engine's put in for them. Whereas over here we have the engines over here, so they have a slightly different engine. The JDM ones have a K20, that's the end, just K20A, it's called. And we have a K20A2, so it's a slightly lower compression, and it makes 197 brake horsepower, whereas the JDM ones make 212 brake horsepower, I think it is. But the A2s are a bit more forgiving for boosting as they're a bit lower compression.
I'm gonna go back now.
Here's a good stretch.
Wow. It's like a little pocket rocket. It's just.
Yeah.
Oh, it's bad.
So imagine this thing when it has 300 to 500 horsepower, which you can get on the standard engines. I mean, you don't have to even do any, rebuild them or anything like that. They can handle that kind of power without quite reliably. I'm pretty sure they can handle 400 brake horsepower when you're standing in turns. When I went to see James in Chorley, I went down this road near his house and there's loads of people walking. You can tell it's quite a nice area. And I just twatted it. V-TEC, everyone turned around like that and just was shaking their heads.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying
Fantastic.
getting that. Back in the day, you wouldn't give a toss. You kind of get a conscience now at my age, and you feel everyone's staring at you. Look at that dickhead.
It's the best thing about it.
See, when I go on the R1, it's just got a lid on, and then
No one sees your face.
that's me. I'm a different man.
I remember you telling me a story once when you went to that speed awareness course, which you were only doing 38 in a 31, yeah. So it wasn't a mad speed, but they were asking people what the top speeds they did.
There was the typical Mondeo man at the back,
Yeah.
and they're all like, "Come on then, put your hands up. Who's done the fastest?" And they're all putting their hands up. Yeah, I've done 100, I've done 110. Mondeo man, he's proper giving it some. Yeah, I was doing 130. So that was it, and he topped everyone off. Thought, go on, I better have a go at this, Anna. So I put my hand up. I said, right, what have you done? I said 174. So Mondeo man's looking at me now like, 174? What are you doing? What was you in? So we all went over to Malaga on the R1, so I did it in France. 174 on digital clock. So I just shut him right up.
That was a while ago as well, wasn't it? Early 2000s.
Yeah.
So you had a brand new R1 then?
It was
Pretty close to new.
yeah, it was only a couple of years old.
Yeah. You actually got the same bike now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to get rid of it because you were born.
Oh yeah, they blame me all the time. But you found yourself with a better.
But anyway, I got another one, same actual year, 2001 model,
Yeah.
but in an absolute prestige condition. Well, it just seems to be everyone's out. I can't really.
Yeah, we got a good couple little pulls in. We'll definitely have to do this again when it's a bit drier and there's not many people out. But it was just getting dark and we thought we need to get this done.
Weather shit, losing traction.
On the way up to the house, just give it a good limit bashing first and second. I just need to see you do it. One of the first couple days I had this, I thought it was a 5-speed. I was driving around.
You won't know, will you?
It's got a modified shift knob. It's just has R on it. You wouldn't really know.
Is that for reverse?
Yeah, and that's race gear. That. So you go, first, second, to 6, and then if you really want to go fast, you put it in race gear.
No wonder you've got no fuel with this, because I think if this exhaust was louder, you'd be just flooring it everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just a little rocket.
It's very, you get an itchy foot with it, don't you?
Yeah.
So, if you were my age, would you have bought one of these? When you were like back then, if these were out?
Yeah, obviously these weren't out. They didn't exist then. But,
Do you remember when they did come out?
to be honest, I wouldn't have took any notice. I just not on my radar, Honda. It was all Astra GTEs and Renault 5 turbos and stuff like that. It was like a, but I mean, I ended up getting a Cavalier SRI, so that was 130. That was pretty tasty.
Yeah.
Big car though. But it was cheaper. I wanted a SR3i. The insurance was mental back then. But believe it or not, the SRI.
Put it back in first.
Hey?
Put it back in first. Bang.
going to blow up.
It won't blow up. It'll be fine. The insurance was it bad then for that car? Like, how much?
XR3i, isn't it?
I remember talking to Des in work, and he was saying, so he had a Capri 2.8 injection when he was my age,
Yeah.
and he said he was paying around £3,500 back then for it.
Yeah.
So what's your final thoughts then?
It's fast. It's got loads of poke, and that is I've never experienced that where it changes to a different level. That's weird.
It is, isn't it?
It's just, I don't know, weird. It's good. Same again. I'll have to do it again though when it's dry.
Yeah.
I want to
absolutely.
feel the full